Welcome to this edition of 10 in 10. In this particular episode, we're going to look at places where you can go online, 10 places where you can go online and get free books. I know free is the best price we can get for a product, and so sit back, relax. We got like 10 minutes. Let's get the timer going, and let's start looking at all these different places. The first place I'd like to start is iBooks. The iBook store, if you have a Macintosh or an iPad or an iPhone, the iBook store is available to you. And if you just turn it on, you can go to the settings at the top, the iBook store. Um, but what's really neat about it is that they have this selection over here on the right hand side where you can click free books. And if you click on that, it gets you a whole list of all these thousands and thousands of free books that are available to you. Some of them are not are kid appropriate. Some are not kid appropriate. One thing I really like is that it's actually got a whole section on kids books. These are free kids books that, when you look at them, some of them are just as good as anything that's published out there by the big publishers. And so um, again, the way to go back to that is to go into iBooks and just click on free, and you can see all different kinds. You can see they have science fiction books that are free. They've got nonfiction books that are free. There's just tons of them. And then when you click on see all, you get to see all of those books that are free as part of that. So iBook Store, a great place to start for free books. Let's go look at some places on the internet that have free books. Probably the granddaddy of all places is Project Gutenberg, and you can find that at gutenberg.org. They have like 54,000 free ebooks. Most of these are the classics that you can find. So just you can you can do a search of almost anything that you want. So if I type in Mark Twain, for instance, what happens? What pops up? And these are all the books by Mark Twain that are available. And so you can see some of them are very, very old. Um, and so essentially what Project Gutenberg does is just they archive all these old books and put them out there for anyone. These are books that are out of copyright and they're in the public domain. So Project Gutenberg is a great place to start your search for free books. Next place I'd like to take you to is a place called the Internet Archive, and you can find that at archive.org. The Internet Archive is really interesting because what they do is they archive everything on the internet. They try to archive everything on the internet. We think that everything gets lost over time, but what the Internet Archive does is they try to take all that stuff and put it into a single place. One of the neat things about them is that they also have video and audio and even old software programs that are in the public domain. But what we're really interested in is that they have lots and lots of books available. And so you can see that you can even go to libraries. You can click on libraries. You can see all these books. These are all the different libraries that are taking part in the Internet Archive. If I go back to text, you can find just tons and tons and tons and tons of things. It's a great place to just start. You can download books. You can even books that are still in copyright. You can actually borrow the books. So you can see there's journals, there's microfilm, those old newspapers and things. Just tons and tons of books that are available. Old magazines, all available on archive.org. Next really neat place to go to is Bookboon. Bookboon.com is a really neat place to go for textbooks. These are books. These are more like technical manuals for people interested in things like computer programming or economics and finance. So these aren't necessarily for our little learners, but they might be helpful to our teachers that are looking to work on some competencies and some skills. They also are available for students as well. So I don't know. Let's you can see that there's all different kinds. You can click on the highest rated ones, for instance, and they're just a great source of free books. And so let's say I want to do this Excel 2016 core part 1. I just download it. And there it is. It's available to download for free. And so these are great books that you can have. Now there are some books like that one that you have to actually pay the premium price. But most of the books are absolutely free um, for you to use. So how to deal with difficult people? Yeah, click on that, download it for free in 4 easy steps. Of course, you have to start an account and things like that. Next one is called LibriVox. LibriVox is a website that isn't so much text, but they actually have audiobooks for free. And so, I don't know, if you type in, let's go back to Mark Twain, and I type in Huck Finn. Let's see if they have actually The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. They actually have lots, they have like 7 or 8, 10 different ones where somebody is actually reading the entire Huck Finn, and it'll tell you what language it's in, so it's the complete solo. So, for instance, here's The Adventures of Huck Finn. It'll tell you uh, who's doing it. This is read by someone named Annie Coleman Rothberg, and you can actually click on it, and it'll actually start playing. And so it's just an awesome.
This is a LibriVox recording.
I want to zoom it by ahead just a little bit.
Mainly he told the truth. That is nothing. I never seen anybody but lied one time or another, without it was Aunt Polly or the widow or maybe Mary.
So LibriVox is a really great place to find free audiobooks. Next place is called manybooks.net. Manybooks.net. 33,000 free books. You can look on the left-hand side. It'll tell you the type of book it is. Like right now, because we're doing this in October, they actually have some books that have to do with horror, vampires, and different kinds of things like that. And so there's some books for our teenage readers. There's some science fiction, but there's 30,000 free books in it, and so it's another great place to go. Planet ebook is a great place to get some classic books. For instance, Great Gatsby here. And it actually, you can read it as a PDF file. They've taken all these classic books, turned them into PDF files. You can see here's a Great Gatsby. I'm just going to read it. There it is. So that's pretty cool. And by the way, on some of your computers, depending on which one you got, you can actually have them highlight and read it to them. For instance, I know that here on my Mac, I can actually have it read to me, so that's kind of cool. All right. Another great place to get textbooks, especially STEM textbooks, is ck12.org. So if you've never been to CK12, go to that one, ck12.org. I'm going to pick life science as an example. If I click life science, it's got they have lots of stuff besides textbooks. They have like lots of interactives and things like that, simulations. But if I click on textbooks right there, Flexbook textbooks, you can see here are just the textbooks that they've created in biology, in the life sciences. And they are actually, honest to goodness, real textbooks. And so the only difference is that they're all online. And they're all free. A great price. CK12, great place if you've never been to CK12. I strongly urge you to look at those textbooks. Last place I want to take you to is a place called Free Books for Kids. And it's exactly what it says it is. It's free books for kids. And a lot of these books are just amazingly well done. For instance, this one here, I was checking this out right before I started today. More or less, need to guess. And so you look at that textbook, and I want to look at it. I can read it online. I can download it as a PDF file. People can rate the textbook. It's been read close to 2,000 times here. So there it is. I want to make it full screen. There's my book, and I just want to read through it. And so there it goes. And so you can actually read that. You can project that up on a screen for your classes. You can read it to your kids at home. You can actually even share it if you want to. And so there's lots of different things that you can do with that. So free kids, great place. So if you haven't tried looking for some free textbooks, please do so. And good luck. Thank you for joining me on this edition of 1010, and I made it in before the 10 minutes were up.